What's up, everybody? Happy Thanksgiving from us here at the Betterment Bros. Today's special episode is all about gratitude. I'm Jeremy Miller.
I'm Dallas Terrell.
And we are the Betterment Bros. All right, everybody, that's right. It's Thanksgiving. So, per Thanksgiving tradition celebrated all across America today, we are going to celebrate gratitude. Ooh. Now, here's the thing, Dal. We talk about gratitude all the time on this show.
That's true.
But today we are going to talk about nothing but gratitude.
A little more in depth, if you will.
Yeah, a little in depth. We're going to give a little
history behind it.
Yeah, history of gratitude, some gratitude practices. We're also going to talk about what we are grateful for. And if there's time, maybe even get into our personal journeys and how we arrived in the studio doing the Betterment Bros podcast.
That sounds like a perfect episode, dude.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm thankful for that.
Boom. So that being said, dude, why don't you crack off with a little 2-minute takeaway?
2-minute takeaway per tradition. Obviously, happy Thanksgiving to everybody from the bros. Moving forward, though, I think a big takeaway for me this week is I'm competing in another Granite Games competition coming up December 7th over at Hollister, CrossFit San Benito. So I'm really excited for that. But that's not really a takeaway. What is a takeaway? But what I've taken away from the last competition that I did is kind of like some areas that needed some fine tuning, some finessing, if you will. And I've really been able to capitalize on those areas, been able to kind of hone in on cardio, hone in on squats and front squats and these movements that, you kind of just want to push away.
I know I do.
Right? CrossFit's one of those things where you want to do the fucking things you're good at.
Yeah.
Just like
life.
Any kind what am I good at? Cool, I'm going to do that all the time.
Yep.
But for me, in my journey in CrossFit specifically and kind of in life is what do I suck at? Let's do that.
Nice.
And I kind of got that idea from our boy Goggins.
Yeah, David Goggins.
Right? He always says triple down on your fucking weaknesses.
Yeah, dude.
So then you're not as weak. And I'm like, dude, well said.
Yeah.
It's like, why suffer if you don't have to?
Yeah.
You can't swim, go learn how to swim.
Yep.
You're fat, go lose weight.
Yep.
So for me, dude, cardio, squats, abs, neglected that for so long. And finally, my friend Lindsay was like, dude, you should fucking do some CrossFit. Give it a whirl. What do you got to lose? And I was like, gosh, she's right,
Yeah.
2 years later, here we are, dude.
Here you are, front
hella
squatting.
hella cardio, hella squats.
Yeah, dude.
And now I love that shit.
Dude.
I go in there and do what I suck at so I can get better. And now I'm decent at those things, and that feels way better, dude.
Yeah.
So that's my takeaway is tripling down on the things that you are not good at.
I love that.
Instead of shying away or running from them, but really just kind of staring them right in the face and being more of a well-rounded person. That's my takeaway, dude.
Sick takeaway.
Besides the gratitude I got in store for later on down the episode, that's it, man.
I love it.
Yeah, what about you? What's going on in the...
Well, Dal, check this out, man. We've been on the birth family takeaway train for a while.
That's it, dude.
And I'm going to switch it up this week. Not that there weren't takeaways there, because there were, but I started writing again, dude. And
journaling or
no,
creative writing?
Script writing.
Oh,
screenplays.
writing movies.
Yeah, dude.
Screenplays.
Yeah, dude. So Dal knows this, and a lot of you listening may know this, but a lot of you may not. But movies are something that I am very passionate about, and I've written quite a few of them. And the other day I was driving, and I remembered this song. Music is my biggest muse, right?
Yeah.
So I'll hear a song and write a whole movie. And I remembered this song that prompted one of my all-time favorite stories that I wanted to script, And so I put the song on, and then I was reliving all the music that I used to listen to write. And so I built this playlist all from memory. And this is digging 3 years into the vault, dude.
Oh, man.
And I pieced together this playlist, and then, I got home and I cracked into my my old hard drive, and I pulled up all the screenplays.
Oh, man.
And I reread them, and dude, they're good. Yeah. And, so I was like, man, some of these, I never finished, or I'd always have ideas about and then be like, oh, I should write that. And, so anyways, a couple days back, I was cracking into one, and given all the things that have happened in my personal life over the last couple of weeks, it like infused
into the story a little bit.
Yeah, like all this emotionality.
Yeah, there we go.
And I recognized
like the family dynamic of the characters.
But dude, here was the crazy thing is that so many of these stories are so like autobiographical,
right?
Just via other characters than myself. But I was writing on these themes before I even knew the pain and suffering and the love and longing that came from
all that
having been adopted and, failed relationships and like all this shit. And so it was like the missing piece to infuse this emotionality to bring the story really to a really well-rounded state where it's like, damn, that's just a good story.
Yeah.
So
holy shit.
Yeah, it blew me out, man.
You just needed that experience to kind of wrap it all up.
Exactly.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So I've been working on those, and I'm going to try and, because so much of my time goes to the podcast game. And so I kind of made this like conscious decision, like, okay, dude, like I got to reallocate some of that time to that creative outlet because, even though this outlet is amazing, there's something about writing characters, and telling stories that
just sits well with you.
Yeah, man. You can really get it out there.
Damn, dude. Well, good for you getting back in the playwright studio.
Yeah, it's great.
Place. Yeah, whatever you call that.
Yeah.
The writing space.
The writing space. There
That's
you go.
sick, dude.
Yeah.
I was thinking too. Remember that one movie that you wrote in like 2015 maybe? And you were like, oh, I want to write this before someone else steals it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? That one?
Yes, I do.
I'm not going to spill the beans.
Yeah.
But maybe we could do like an episode or like a video or something about it.
Yeah.
Because that idea still hasn't became true.
Are you talking about the one with the cars? And
The one with the cars and the gloves and the
dude.
things.
Yeah, dude. The horror movie.
The horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think that you missed the boat on it because like we haven't done it yet or you haven't done it yet.
Right.
But I think that story's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Of like, this was my idea.
Yeah.
Still hasn't happened yet.
Yep.
I'm already almost done, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something like that would be pretty cool.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, one of the big issues I always run into is like I write it, but I want to make it. And I allow making it to dampen the writing of it.
Because you got to kind of lower the standard of what you're...
Of what I'm actually capable of.
And working with.
But I'm not doing that with these in the rewrites.
Good.
I'm pumping them to where I want them to be, and then we'll see what we do with them.
I love that, dude.
Yeah.
Let someone else do it, dude.
Exactly. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see when we get there.
Yeah.
But that being said, dude, let's talk about gratitude. It's Thanksgiving right now. And,
it is?
Yeah, it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And we're pre-recording.
We're pre-recording. Yeah, that's why it just took me off. I was
Yeah.
like, what? No, it's not, bro.
Yeah.
It's Tuesday.
But it's Thanksgiving, and, you're partying. You're having fun with your family. If you're doing it sober, you've got some tips up your sleeve to help you through that. If you're dealing with toxic family members, you've got some tricks up your sleeve to deal with that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, listen to our last episode, The Holiday Playbook, okay? But Dal, in your notes, you mentioned some things that I'm really excited for you to share about.
Hell yeah.
So I think, why don't you take lead on this one?
Take lead? Let's do it.
And crack into some gratitude, man.
Let's do it, dude. Well, I think the first kind of talking point we wanted to kind of hit on is the way we start our show, dude.
Yeah.
2-minute takeaways, right? That's how we start every show. 2-minute takeaways. Granted, we kind of, we point out maybe like a message or an improvement or something throughout the week. A gain, a win, a progress, a growth, something like that. But essentially what it is, it's having gratitude for the little things in life that a lot of us just kind of gloss over or glance over and miss.
Yep.
So we kind of wanted to just, I know we talk about 2-minute takeaways a lot, but also not neglect it because we talk about it a lot, but acknowledge it because it's fucking really important.
Yep. Well said.
Yeah, dude. So, 2-minute takeaways, the point here is to cultivate some sort of schedule, some sort of habit, some sort of routine obviously I'm talking to the audience, for you guys to acknowledge your wins, your progress, your growth, your strengths, and even your weaknesses, and see where you're improving, because that's what the game of life is, right? We're not trying to stay stagnant. We're not trying to do worse, right? But there is wisdom in our experience, and there's wisdom in using the past to learn from and to evolve from and to grow from. So if we don't create, we don't allot some time to look, we'll miss out on a lot of cool things that are there to see.
Wow. Really well said, dude. And if I could chime in on that.
Chime on in, dude.
Dude, so I don't think we've ever described the 2-minute takeaway as well as you just did right now.
Fuck.
Yeah, dude.
Love that.
So good job.
Just keeps getting better and better.
That's it, man. And, a note I had on that is that, you talk about creating the time, and I think it's equally important to create the space.
Yep.
Right. And, with the 2-minute takeaway, I know exactly how many people listen to every episode of the show.
That's true.
Right?
You can't fool him.
I watch all
I don't know.
all our analytics, all the stats, dude. Like, I'm looking at all that stuff every day.
I just assume we're killing it and super famous.
We're crushing it, dude. We're not super famous, but like 2020,
It's heating up.
We're getting up there, dude.
Yeah, dude. We eating 2 turkeys.
Yeah, that's right.
Woo.
Yeah, but the thing with the 2-minute takeaway is that I want we've implored you guys before to share with us your 2-minute takeaways, right? And that is not a single serving exercise, right? We want you to share it with us, of course, so that we could shout you out on the Instagram. And, when I see other people's wins, I'm inspired. I'm motivated, right? It helps me, when I'm in the discipline zone of like, I'm doing something because I know I need to, but I don't want to, and I need a little blast or, a little infusion of positivity, I look at people's wins, man, and it pushes me along, And, but more importantly, we want you guys to share with us your 2-minute takeaways to keep you accountable.
Create the habit.
I know that every single person listening to this show right now on Thanksgiving, I know you got a 2-minute takeaway.
Yep.
Right. And what you're going to do is you're going to sit in your car listening to this episode, or you got your headphones in while you're doing dishes or whatever you're doing. And you're going to be like, damn, dude, I should, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to blast a 2-minute takeaway at the Betterment Bros, and it'll be awesome. And then, the day's going to get away from you. You're going to think about it. It's going to slip right out because that's what happens. And we're not going to hear from you.
That sucks.
And that's a bummer.
Yeah.
Because I know you got them and I need them. We both need them.
And so do you.
And so do you, right? And so from this point forward, we want to see your 2-minute takeaways, right? We want to see them on the gram so that we can share them, because you never know how your words are going to land with somebody. I was having a conversation with Jerry, our coworker, the other day. And I was telling her that early on in my recovery path, right? I was talking to somebody and they said one sentence to me. This is in 2010, dude. And I think about this sentence almost every day, and it's really.
What is that sentence?
Basically, I was talking to somebody that we work with who is a very private person and would not want me sharing their name.
Gotcha.
Right.
So what's the name?
I almost said it, too.
Oh, shit. You had to edit it out.
I'm that easy to bait.
Yeah.
But what was happening at the time is, I was newly sober. I jumped into this relationship like super fast, dude.
Uh-oh.
And everybody told me not to, and, I learned the hard way why they were right.
Uh-huh. Been there.
But I was like losing sleep. I was, having cravings, activating all kinds of triggers, like
Yep.
always thinking about the future, always reliving the past, And so my buddy pulled me outside, and it was at our work, which is a very beautiful, serene, peaceful place. And we were looking out at the view, and he looked at me and he said, "Moments are what define our lives. So pick which ones to focus on."
Love that.
Right? And that sentence plays in my head all the time. Right? Because it's like, I will get upset about something. I'll get fucking mad at somebody. I'll be driving and some shit happens, right? Or like, we ask people to share their 2-minute takeaways and then it's crickets,
Yeah.
Just kidding. That's, But I'll think about that and I'm like, which moments am I focusing on? because that's, like pretty much the way I look at it is like we determine our reality by what we focus on.
Absolutely.
Right. And so I'll just always think like, is this a life defining moment? If not, I'm going to shake it, because what's the point of holding on to it if it's not a life defining moment?
Yeah.
And I think about that all the time. It completely changed my life. It changed the way I look at the world,
It put you kind of in power.
It did. Exactly. Yeah. It gave me control,
You're in charge, dude.
And so, but the point of that story is that those were I've reminded him about it. He's like, oh, I said that,
yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, dude. He's like, I don't even remember. But that's the power that we have of influence on other people, right? So you sharing your 2-minute takeaway about, like if you're a single mom, and your kid like did really well in school one day, right? And you like helped them with their homework and you put that out there. How many single moms are going to look at that, at your takeaway, and be like, damn, dude, like, yeah, I'm doing good too. Like, you know what I mean? Like Dal sharing his front squat win, right? Your 2-minute takeaway about front squats. In my head, the whole time you're saying that, I'm like, fuck, I need to front squat.
I gotta get in there, dude. Yeah.
And so it's like our
never
words,
know.
our experience, like we have this unique shared experience that is life. And we can help positively influence people around us through gratitude, because gratitude is such a powerful force that even just hearing someone be grateful innately causes us to reflect on what we are grateful for as well, And so I think like the 2-minute takeaway movement that we are trying to create is more than just vanity. It's more than just Instagram. It's
like
really
some buzzwordy thing.
Yeah, like we,
it's pure, dude. It's
pure.
Fucking pure.
When
That's
we created this hashtag and created the 2-minute takeaway culture, it wasn't like an ego thing. It's like literally, I want to hear your wins because that's the shit that keeps me going.
Yeah. And but also wasn't a forethought. Like it was organic.
Yeah,
it's
it just
like,
happened.
Dude, this should be a thing.
Yeah,
because it's so helpful
for us.
Yeah, and like we want to share that with other people.
Exactly.
Dude, I'm glad you said that. That's super cool.
Yeah, man.
The one thing it made me think of too is like your experience with meeting your birth family.
Yeah.
Like you know 100% how many people it rippled out to.
Yeah.
We don't know how many people it rippled out to that we don't know.
Right.
We didn't say anything.
Right.
But you never know.
Right.
It's like you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take.
That's right.
And I think that applies to the gratitude thing where it's like,
absolutely.
Maybe you don't do it for you. Do it for somebody else today.
Right.
But create that routine.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And kind of my first note, my first action item on gratitude is that, there's plenty of research, so much research. We could have filled an hour with just scientific data.
They got other podcasts for that shit.
Yeah, but, go see somebody else for that, But what I will say, if I could condense all the data to just a few sentences, gratitude and the expression of gratitude literally rewires your brain, right? It offers your brain new neural pathways to living a happier, more fulfilling life, right? So people will always ask, not always, but often they will ask me like, Jeremy, dude, I just wish I could be happier. And I say, okay, what do you have in your life that makes you happy? Right? And they go, well, nothing. And I'm like, okay, well, just try a little bit. What do you got in your life that makes you happy? And sometimes it's simple things, right? But it's proving to yourself that there are things to be happy about, right? And the thing with gratitude, like most things, right? Like Dallas talks about with fitness a lot, you can't do 10 curls and expect to have huge arms, right? You can't run a lap and expect to be able to run a mile, right? It's constant work. It's constant effort. And the same applies to gratitude, right? So in one of the studies, one of my favorite studies, they did at Stanford with like 5,000 people, dude. And, they had some people taking SSRI, antidepressants. They had some people taking a placebo, and they had some people journaling gratitude, right? And at the end of the study, the people that were just doing gratitude tested better than the people on SSRIs without gratitude, right?
Love that.
So meds alone are very helpful. I'm not trying to sit in here and say, like, don't take your psych meds, right? But what I'm saying is that there are literally free, easy, effortless ways to improve the entire state of your existence, and that's gratitude. But the thing is, it takes consistency, right? So in this study, they showed, let me get my notes here, Dal.
Grab them.
That basically there was slight improvement after 1 week. twice as much improvement after a month and 3 times the improvement after 12 weeks, right? And that's how long the study was. So there's there might be data for longer, but I don't have it. But
Right.
So with your 2-minute takeaways, guys, I don't want to see 1 2-minute takeaway, right? I do. If all you got's one, that's fine. But what I'm saying is that it has to be a practice of regularity, right? Every single day do this, right? And in 12 weeks, let us know how you feel.
Yeah, you got nothing to lose.
Nothing.
Everything to gain.
Yep.
Literally.
I
love that, dude.
Yeah.
You'll always love it when there's some data to go behind it too.
Data helps
people
me.
that just don't believe it.
Yeah, well, and I'm one of those guys, you know.
I am too. I am too, man. I had to experience it myself, you know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, dude. I think that's super important. I think another thing too, kind of like another good talking point or another good action item is like how to like cultivate that attitude, how to cultivate that time, that experience of gratitude, right? Like if we were, you know, someone's like, all right, cool. Like, let's do it. You know, I'm going to be grateful every day and I'm going to, you know, journal it, or I'm going to just acknowledge it in my head. Like, you know, I think to the audience that's listening, that's maybe, you know, like, okay, cool, let's do it. Like, what do you guys suggest?
Yep.
I think the first thing, which was kind of your point, you know, was journaling it, writing it down, getting it outside of your head,
Yes,
and onto paper.
Yep.
You know, I think that's super important. You know, even just starting with a couple things I'm grateful for. Next week, couple things I'm grateful for and why.
Yep.
You know, because the more you look into it, the more you get to experience that feeling of gratitude.
Yep.
Where you're just like, what are you grateful for? Like, my parents. Okay, cool. Like, that, you know, you
Yeah.
kind of got to dive into it a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, for me, something that I do for clients, people, family, friends that are, you know, maybe not in a great mood, or if I just say like, you know, what do you have to be grateful for? Like, how could we shift this mood? How could we shift this mindset? It's like, they call them gratitude exercises, and you can kind of run them your own way, however you like. But essentially, the quickest and most efficient way that I do it for somebody is I just ask them, like, what are you grateful for? And I just keep asking questions about those things that they're grateful for until like a response is elicited, or until they've like physically brightened up or changed, you know?
So give me an example. What does that look
So
like?
an example would be like, all right, Jerem, like what are 3 things you're grateful for?
I'm grateful for this podcast.
Me too.
I'm grateful for my tribe.
The people in your life. Okay,
Yep.
cool.
And number 3, I'm going to say I'm grateful for my health.
Your health. Okay, cool. So what are you most grateful for about your tribe?
Oh, man. The fact that I know in my heart that if I needed something, no matter what it was, they'd be there.
I love that.
Yeah.
Who's someone that's always there for you usually?
I'm going to go with Mariah, dude.
What do you love most about her?
Oh, shit.
Damn,
Yeah.
this is all organic. I didn't know we were going to go down
This
this
is really
route,
going there.
but you're live, so.
Yeah, I mean, she is, how to word this? She is one of the very few people I've ever known who is actually selfless.
Yeah.
Very often.
Dude, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. So what's the nicest thing she's ever done for you?
Probably going with me to meet my birth family.
Dude, she was right there.
She was there, dude.
Yeah.
And
how's that?
Some people would kind of balk at that. They're like, that seems a little intense.
Seems too much.
And
yeah.
she was grateful the whole time just to be part of the story, dude.
She just wanted that experience.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's the nicest thing you've ever done for her? It could be something you plan on doing too. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
That's shareable, you know.
Yeah,
for
of
the
course.
audience,
Yeah. I think so one time when we went to Mexico, you know, because she'd never left the country. And so I was like, all right, let's go to Mexico, you know. And she's like, well, how does it all work? And we just did it, you know. And so I played tour guide, you know, to a degree.
Yeah.
But I knew how to maximize the trip because of my, you know, thorough knowledge of Mexico and, you know, how it goes down there. I'm going to go with that, man.
Yeah, I love that. And
Yeah.
how did that trip feel to you?
Incredible.
Incredible.
Yeah.
You grateful for that experience?
All the time.
Yeah. Okay. So that's like kind of an example of what I would do with somebody, right? Where you just keep talking to them, and it's like, while you're answering those questions, how did you feel?
Amazing.
I mean, I know you weren't like deep, dark, depressed, upset, or anything like that
No.
prior.
No.
So the switch is kind of simple.
But still, when you dig into the layers of it, it makes you appreciate the gravity of things that you would otherwise overlook.
Right.
Right?
That's very true. And you also have to participate.
Yeah, dude.
You know, where it's like most people in their mind, they're like, what am I grateful for? Like my dog, pizza, and Oreos. Right. And then it's like, it doesn't go further than that. But when you get your brain to participate and really explore the feelings that are there that you and me know are there. If I said, you know, what do you love most about your family and why? What are the 3 best qualities of your mom? You know, and you're like 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. You know, which quality do you love the most about her? You know, it's like now you're participating, you're responding, you're thinking about all these really positive things. You know, so being prompted to do that is extremely beneficial. So I'm not telling the audience to go run gratitude exercises on all these people.
Right.
But you could take it and make it your own for yourself.
Yeah, run it on you.
Run it on you, right? Maybe those are some of your journal prompts, right? What am I grateful for? Next week, what am I grateful for and why? You know, why am I grateful for those people? When's the last time I told them how grateful I was for our connection, our relationship, our this, our that?
That's huge.
And then go tell them that.
Yeah.
And then see how that feels when you get the response back. It's like, dude, I'm so grateful for you too, right? And you're almost manipulating these emotions into your life.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you know, for me, I know that I'll have thoughts that I want to express to people because I know it'll make them feel good. But then narrative tells me not to, because what if it makes them feel uncomfortable, or what if they think I'm stupid, or what if it's embarrassing, or what if it's weird, or blah, 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 right? And the narrative sweeps me out of it. But I had, you know, someone read my Facebook post about my birth family and sent me like a voice memo basically saying, hey, dude, I've been thinking about you all week. Like, your post has been on my mind all week. And, you know, rather than just me thinking that, I wanted you to know that you've had this huge positive impact on me this week, right?
Wow.
I've never received anything like that in my life, dude. That was the first.
Wow.
And the feeling that I got hearing that was just unbelievable, dude. I was like, holy shit, man, this is awesome. So it's like, dude, if you're feeling grateful for somebody, you're feeling grateful for something, you experience something profound and beautiful, take note and make it known.
Share it.
You know, like, imagine if all of us went around saying what we were grateful for all the time.
Fuck.
Oh my God.
That's
Beautiful.
that's what we're trying to do, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, we're trying to get that started.
Yeah.
Started here. You heard it first.
That's right.
Live from the studio.
Yeah, dude. Thanksgiving.
Fuck, man. That's so cool. Well, yeah, I just kind of wanted to like make that real for the audience on maybe a how-to.
I like it.
You know, obviously it varies. Did you have anything you wanted to say on that?
No, I think you know, when you've got your pen and paper, because I prefer that you guys do gratitude non-digitally, right? Because when stuff goes into your phone, it doesn't exist anywhere, right? But when you write it on paper, it's here with us in the world. And so I'm a big proponent of, you know, writing things down.
Of course, me too.
So grab a piece of paper, right, and run yourself on a gratitude exercise, you know, like what Dallas said. And the whole intention of that is not like to write 10 pages, right? But the more you engage with yourself, right, the more you know, think about it and get into it, the more power those emotions will have, the more the effect will be felt. So what we're really trying to advocate here is, you know, the 2-minute takeaways are powerful, but you'll notice, like, on every show, you know, it's not like, hey, Jerem, what's your 2-minute takeaway? And I'm like, dude, I just had an awesome day at work today. Right? Like, no, dude, we talk about it. We acknowledge each other. We talk about, like, damn, what was that like? Or, damn, dude, I got to do front squats too. It's a conversation. We're engaged with our own win because we don't want to just scrape the surface. We want to get in and relive what about that made us grateful.
Well
And
said.
the more we do that, the more gratitude we experience, the happier we are, the more we are able to rewire our brains to see the beauty in this world, you know, because the truth is, Dal, like, Man, I was at the store the other day, and the stores are crazy right now because
Dude.
fucking Thanksgiving, right? And,
Madhouse.
And I'm in line at Safeway, dude, at the self-checkout, and nobody ever knows where to form the line.
Never.
Right? And so I'm just standing there, and I'm kind of like quietly observing everybody, like trying frantically rush through the self-checkout, like, fuck, everybody's looking at me.
It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, and they're like, dude, fuck it, I'm not scanning my own groceries fast enough, and everyone thinks I'm a dick, you know? Like, everyone's frantic, dude, you know? Yeah. And I'm just kind of standing there, like, observing, you know, like, having fun, and this guy, like, stands next to me, right? And I could tell he was agitated looking at this shit, and he was like, God, this fucking sucks. And he said that. Right. And I remember thinking like, dang, dude, like, it's like, I get it. Like, it, you know, but damn, like, and the way he said it, I felt so much pain in his voice, you know? And I remember thinking like, dude, life is this beautiful thing, and there's pain and there's suffering and there's peaks and valleys, and, you know, and we're all navigating this as best we can. And it's fucking hard, dude. But there's so much beauty in the world, you know, and that's so cliche, but it's the truth. And I had this profound moment, you know, walking to my car after the grocery store, and I just remember thinking like, dude, like politics and fucking, you know, the wall and Trump and fucking, you know, mass shootings and Israel, and like, you know, and people are like, dude, America sucks, and like the world is such a shitty place these days. And people have post on Facebook, like, I literally saw a post yesterday, like, Trump did this, I've officially lost faith in humanity, right? And I'm like,
it's the most dramatic shit I've ever heard in my life.
And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, okay, first of all, like, making Trump responsible for the status of humanity, no matter how you slice it or who you voted for, that's not really a good measure, right? And the world is so much better today than it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 50 years ago. You know what I mean? It's so much better. And it's literally like the gratitude in me and the way I try and project into the world is, you know, my thoughts create my reality, right? So if I choose to see the world as this shit, dark, fucking, you know, horrible place, that is exactly what I'll see. And that's exactly how I'll show up, right? But gratitude, being able to say like, you know, I'm watching these people at the grocery store, and all I'm buying is ice cream, you know?
Oh boy.
And as I'm leaving, the guy's like, you want your receipt? And I'm like, oh, no, thanks, man. He's like, you want a spoon? Right? And I started laughing, dude. And I'm like, fuck, that is so funny, dude. And just that moment right there, that's like humanity at its best.
Yeah.
And it was 5 seconds at a grocery store buying ice cream. And I paid so much attention to that. And I thought about it for 20 minutes. I shared that story with all my friends because it's so pure and wholesome, you know? And that to me is why gratitude is just so important, because, dude, we can choose to see all the dark, you know, and live in this just pit of nastiness, or we can express gratitude for what's not that way. And I'm not saying that, like some of you guys, I'm not saying that I haven't had difficult times. God knows I have still currently, you know? And if I allowed those things to be the dominant force in my life, I'd be back at the bottle, dude. I'd be back doing drugs. Like, God only knows what would happen.
Yeah.
And I think, like, doing the 2-minute takeaways and doing this podcast has really helped me reframe to regain, you know? And that's all I had on that.
So that was that.
Should we just wrap her?
That was Safeway.
Yeah, dude.
Grocery store wins, dude.
Yeah, man.
They're always there.
They're there.
I mean, I think a lot of things I heard from that is like perspective.
Yeah.
But also what I really heard too, like inside of that was like positive thinking, you know, like, and you know, we don't have to go all the way into that and shit, you know, but it's important, dude. Like, not only is gratitude a part of positive thinking, a big component of it, but I don't know, man. I think it's perspective and positive thinking and being grateful. And you know, like you said, there's a lot of pain and suffering in the world. We can't hold on to that forever. You can't always be positive. You can't always be grateful. You can't always be depressed or angry either, you know, but it's like, how can you interact and be a part of the solution for you? How can you find the beauty? How can you find the gratitude, or at least have a North Star that's pointing you that way?
Right.
You know, and so hopefully, you know, we dropped a couple tips and tricks and some ideas to help get you there.
Yeah.
You know, I know one thing that helps me, another kind of action item, if you will, for me is I forget where the fuck I heard it, dude. It's one of those things where I heard it somewhere and it stuck with me forever. And it's along the lines of your brain is like Google.
Yeah.
Right. And your brain is like this search engine, and whatever you type in, you're going to find whatever it is.
Right.
I don't know if the audience has this experience, but you ever just type in just gibberish into Google? Like, you know, you just hit whatever keys and press enter and laugh. It's like, oh my God, there's a million searches for like whatever it is. Right. And it's like, that's how your brain is. You know, if you type in like, why am I so dumb? Or you think that way, why am I so dumb? You're going to get all these reasons of why that's true.
Absolutely.
If you type in, why am I so smart? You're going to get all these reasons of why that's so true.
Right.
Right. If you type in, what color is Mars? You've never fucking been there. You have no idea. Your brain will create what color it is.
Right.
Even though it's not real.
Right.
So what it makes me think of in my mind is that I'm in charge, right? I'm asking the questions. That's how we think. We think in questions, you know? What should I do? When should I do it? How should I do it? What do they think? You know, who do they know? I wonder if they did this or they did that. Like, it's hard to, like, besides just like a comment or like a statement, thinking is mainly questions that we ask ourselves, you know? So knowing that our thoughts is what creates our reality. It's like, most of the time we're asking the wrong fucking questions. All the time. Right. So if you can kind of normalize it, like the mind, the most complex, craziest thing out there, normalize it as it's just this simple search engine. And how do you want to use Google? Right. Do you want to use it to find directions, or do you want to use it to find out why you're such a piece of shit? Right. And it's like, you could type in, why am I so fat, and get a million results, or how can I lose weight? And so, like, what's your narrative like? What questions are you asking? And what are you responsible for those questions? You know? So if you're not getting the right answers, you're asking the wrong questions. Is basically what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I love that.
And I try to just live that, dude. What questions am I asking? No wonder my results are poor. You know, why is that guy better than me? Here's a million reasons. Right. What could I do to be like him? Which one serves you way better?
Well, and I think, and that last bit of that whole bit is, how does it serve me? That is what I try and focus on the most, right? Like the, you know, mind as a search engine thing. That's that's a fairly new concept for me. I'm excited to dig around and see what happens.
It's pretty crazy.
But for me, I'll ask all the time, like, I'll get so mad at something. And I'm like, how does this serve me? Like, really, like, what is this doing to serve me? Right. And that's a big part of gratitude, right? Because gratitude, I would venture to, I mean, I'm going to say it pretty confidently. I can't really think of a time expressing gratitude can have a negative effect, right? I really don't see there being a drawback to being grateful, right? You know, whereas with other emotions, you could make the argument that there are drawbacks, you know? And I think like a big thing for us too, you know, as we kind of plug through our gratitude special, is like, we are in this incredibly unique position wherein, you know, we both struggled hard with substance abuse, right?
Very true.
Full-blown addicts in the house, right? And, you know, and both of us were young too when we went into treatment and cleaned up.
Thank God. Fuck, man.
Yeah, dude. Thank God. Like that right there, I'm so grateful for. God, I'm so glad I went to rehab at 22, you know?
Best decision I ever made.
Dude, for
real.
real.
Yeah, we both got sober at 22.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's trippy.
Fuck, man, that's crazy. It's
so
a good
just
age.
Find out our ages and you'll know how sober we are.
Yeah, dude. And if you're 22 and you're struggling, now's a good time to quit.
It's a great time to get sober, dude.
Yeah.
Nobody likes you when you're 23. You know?
No, dude. But no, like, we're in this unique spot where we jumped into, you know, personal development really early. And, you know, I got friends that, you know, they don't struggle with alcohol or drugs per se, but, you know, like, they'll ask me like, damn, dude, like, you know a lot about life. Like, how do you know, like, I was in Colorado one time and somebody was like, dude, what do you got on this, dude? Like quitting their job. Like, what do you think about the boss, you know? And I just cracked off some Betterment Bros knowledge, dude.
There we go.
And, you know, and they asked me like, how do you think like that? And I said, well, in a very important developmental stage of my life, I had to like figure it out of like why these things were happening to me because of me, you know, and there was so much to learn in that. And, you know, last year, one of my colleagues in the field is like writing a book, and she wanted to write about me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she has a company that helps people launch, right? If people are failing to launch. And, you know, and she went to our annual conference and saw me public speaking and shit. And she's like, where does the energy come from, you know? And so we're in this interview, and I'm telling her my life story, and there's a lot of darkness, Dal.
Of course.
And she's like, how do you like look back at that? And like, how are you so happy now? And looking back at your past, you know, like, how do you sit with that and still maintain this positive energy? And I said, gratitude. That was my answer. Gratitude. If I had not gone through those things, if I had not fucked up so much of my life, and I was an asshole, dude. Like I was a person struggling and doing a lot of harm, dude. And if I look back at that and type the question, why was I like that, you know, or why was I an asshole? I'm gonna get a lot of proof as to, you know, the fact
Why
that
that's the case.
why I was an asshole. But when I look back, I think, man, I'm grateful for that. Like I got to learn so much from that. I learned so much about life, having gone through that a lot of people don't learn, you know. And I think like for me, this Thanksgiving, that's like really what I'm most grateful for is like, dang, dude, like I'm grateful for this podcast, like first and foremost, because even if nobody listened to this, I would still do it every Tuesday, man.
Yeah.
Cause it's like,
Helpful for us too.
yeah, man. And it just keeps me firing, man.
Keeps you on your
That was a
toes.
big rant, but
Yeah. No, but it was productive.
yeah, we
It's
might
like,
cut that part out.
No, I don't think so, dude.
No, you
I
don't
think
think
it's
so?
like, you know, your way of saying like, I'm very grateful for how far I've come.
Yeah, that's
You
it.
know, very long. Maybe we cut that in.
Yeah.
You could just voice over like, just want you guys to know like I'm really proud of like how far I've come. Yeah. No, but the story's important, dude. It's the character. It's like, you know, you look at people and you want to know how they got there and what they did to get there. Think about like the success stories. You know, you need to wake up at 4 a.m. and have a fucking protein shake and get to the gym by 4 so that you are awake before everyone else. So you're doing all this shit, you know? It's like, you know, people like to know how people get to where they get to because they want to fucking get there too.
Right.
Like you always say, dude, we're all just walking to the finish line together. We're all
That's
just
it,
trying to
man.
get there.
Yeah.
You know? And we all have a shared experience. So it's like, I'm trying to get there. You're trying to get there. How'd you do it?
Right.
And that's important because there's
Yeah.
a lot of people out there that want, maybe you're like, dude, that guy Jeremy's got too much fucking energy or he knows a lot.
Right.
How did he do it? Because
Right.
I want that and I want to get there too.
Yeah.
So what you said is extremely fucking important. We're not going to cut it out.
Okay. On that though, I want to answer that question.
Answer it.
How do I get there? I just came up with the answer.
Shit.
I know how we got to where we are, Dallas.
Let's hear it.
Okay. So for those of you who are wondering, like how we came to all of this that we share with you, I don't want to call it like wisdom or knowledge. That's presumptuous. But so Dal and I, for years, right? For years, we would sit on the porch after work, right? We'd drive home from work. We'd get iced coffees on the way home.
After work, 8 p.m.
8 p.m., dude. And we would drink iced coffee and smoke cigarettes on the porch until midnight, 12:30. And all we did was talk about life. We talked about like
The
why
good and the bad.
Why did this happen? You know, and then we'd analyze and we'd just talk, bounce ideas back and forth. And then, you know, and I have this really innate sense of people's emotions, where they come from and why they're happening. And so much of that I fine-tuned through just conversating, you know? And I think like one action item for people is like, you know, if you want to know more about life, if you want to engage more with your mind and emotions and where they come from and what's happening, talk about it with somebody.
Yeah.
You know,
Explore it.
explore
right?
it. Yeah.
remember one thing too is we would always tell people, like, why are you drinking coffee so late? And it's like, the party's just about to start.
That's
like,
right.
We're off work. Like, now it's time to like keep living.
Yeah, dude.
Like, they're like, why you guys, wind up? It's like, dude, what do you mean? Like, I'm not just gonna go home and go to sleep and call it quits. Like, there's living to be done.
Yeah, dude.
And we would fucking do it.
Yeah, man.
I'm glad you brought that up. That was cool, dude.
Yeah.
That's where it all started. 100%.
That's where it started, dude.
Yeah.
And I wish like I could go back and hear those conversations compared to these.
Less wise, probably.
Yeah, dude. We probably sounded like a couple of idiots. Yeah, bro. I think like emotions are just like tricky, dude. You know, like,
you're like, dude, that's profound.
Yeah, dude. Dude, you gotta write that down. You know. Oh shit, man.
Fuck,
so
dude.
Dal, what are you grateful for, man? It's Thanksgiving. What do you got?
How much time we got?
Fuck, I don't even know how long we've been going, dude.
Strap in. Nah, I don't know. It's not gonna be that crazy. But I mean, I think first and foremost, dude, family, friends, my tribe, obviously, my job, growth, exercise, data, experiences that I've had. And I think one that goes overlooked, but you acknowledged it too, was I am grateful for the darkness. You know, I'm grateful for like the evil. I'm grateful for the shitty experiences I wish never happened. I'm grateful for all of that molded the person I am now.
Amen.
And that goes straight into gratitude, where I wouldn't appreciate this roof, this room, this water, having a car, having money, having good relationships, if I didn't know what it was like to not have any of that.
Right.
You know, if I didn't know what it was like to have no money, no food, sleeping on a cardboard box in the fucking rain. Like that perspective, I can go there. And I remember coming to treatment, dude, and just everyone's like, why are you so happy? I'm like, you guys got beds.
Yeah.
That's all it took for me.
Right.
You got beds and like fucking sun chips and some food. This place is all right with me.
Yeah.
It's good enough.
Right.
The rest is a fucking bonus.
Right.
You know, and I have tried to like stay humble and stay grateful and stay there, you know, where it's like just a couple little things is all I really needed,
dude,
to make it okay.
I love that. I think we should probably wrap it up.
Yeah.
But in conclusion, guys, we wanted to get on here and get a little personal with you guys and, bring you in a little bit more on the gratitude process, what it looks like for us, where our gratitude comes from. Also, some action items for Dallas. You've got the gratitude exercise. Run that on yourself with your pen, your paper. Really get deep into the experience of your gratitude.
Absolutely.
Dig in. It takes cognitive engagement, right? We want you guys really digging into those layers of gratitude, and I promise you'll feel the results. I want you guys to, set a commitment. Do your best, right? This isn't like a New Year's resolution thing, but what I want to encourage is making it habitual, right? So get after it on your 2-minute takeaways. Let us in on that stuff. It keeps our compassion tanks fueled up. And Dal, you got any other plugs, man?
No, I mean, I think the only other thing to plug is... any problems going on in your guys' world, any topics you guys want to hear us discuss, any questions you have, don't plug it into Google, plug it into your email and send it on over to us.
Ooh, I like that.
We would love to help you guys tackle it. And we just, hope you guys enjoy the holidays, Thanksgiving specifically, today. Yep. Find a reason to enjoy it. There's plenty there right in front of your face. Don't miss it.
Yep. Well said, dude. Great plug.
That's the only plugs I think I got, man.
And, so don't plug it into Google. Send us an email, bettermentbros@gmail.com. Find us on the web, betterment-bros.com. You'll find us on the Instagram @bettermentbros. And we've got tons of announcements for 2020 that we'll plug later on in December, but you're going to want to stick around for that.
Shit's getting hot.
We're going to have some guests. We're going to be guesting on other shows. We got some shit lined up, guys.
We do.
It's exciting.
We have our first guest episode coming up on the 7th.
That's right.
Is it the 7th? It's the 3rd.
It's
the 10th.
It's somewhere around there.
It's either the 3rd or the 10th.
Early December, we've got a guest episode, and you guys are going to love it. I can promise you that.
We'll maybe talk more about next episode once it's official.
Yeah, we'll get in there once it's official. But that being said, you guys, happy Thanksgiving from the Betterment Bros. And I think most importantly, we are grateful for you.
Yep.
We really are. This means the world to us. So enjoy your day, and we'll see you guys next week. I'm Jeremy Miller.
I'm Dallas Terrell.
Take it easy.